Beyond what we're seeing is white supremacy going back to the old plans that we used to fight back many years ago, where it was what I call the apparatus of organized hate. We actually infiltrated Ku Klux Klan claverns because they were organized, they would march, they would do things together, try to disrupt events together. Neo-Nazis did that also. And then we saw a seminal change in that in 1992 when the Klan Nazis, the anti-government militias, met in Estes Park, Colorado, and one of their most infamous members, Louis Beam, posited out the leaderless resistance model, which we then saw take hold in the movement. And that was more along the lines of, just one or two people need to go out and act on their own without specific direction from the, the Grand Wizard or the head of the Nazi Party. This would shield them from federal prosecution is what they believed. So we kind of went with that. They went with that strategy for years. But they're so emboldened now, Julian, they're so emboldened. New groups like Patriot Front, they're not afraid to get in a group, get in a gang, load in a U-Haul truck, show up, and they would have made a major physical assault on the Pride Day. I mean, that's what they were doing. That's what they were geared for. That's why they have their masks. That's why they have their, their really uniforms. I mean, the khakis and the face masks, all their uniforms. Look how they all look all the same. They're working as an organized unit. And we're starting to see that more. We saw it in Charlottesville. It was unbelievable to see all the neo-Nazis with the torches. So we're in a different stage in America. January 6th certainly was, an attempt to overthrow the government, which is all these guys ever talk about for the last 50 or 60 years. That was their reason for living.
Well, you mentioned that they're working as an organized unit, and something that struck me was the charge here, which is a conspiracy to riot. That's not a charge, I think that most folks hear every day. What can you tell us about the use of that charge of conspiracy to riot? Is that becoming more common in your experience?
Well, what it is, Julian, is smart prosecutors. Look, the cases we always went for were the conspiracies. In the United States federal system, under the federal law, a conspiracy is basically when two or more people agree to commit a crime against the United States, and then they commit an overt act, which means some kind of physical act in furtherance of the conspiracy. And so then the act of one becomes the act of all. So if 5 of us got in a room to say we were going to rob the bank, we all agreed we were going to do it. We made an agreement to commit a crime against the United States, rob the bank. We sent one guy out to steal a car and another guy out to get a gun. Once they did that, once they got the gun and they got the car, then all of us in the room that made the agreement were all guilty of conspiracy to rob the bank, and everybody could be charged equally and do the same prison term. So it's a very, very powerful charge to stop organized criminal groups. People talk about the RICO case. Yes, that sometimes comes into play when it's very deeply involved in a lot of activity over time, but just a straight conspiracy charge, state or federal, is very, very powerful. The prosecutors are smart to charge it because basically what it means is the act of one person is the act of all the persons who are involved in that agreement. And some of them may not even have been in the truck. Some of them could be in states and all over the U.S. who agreed to do a crime. And so there can be more arrests coming after this.